Does anyone have anything to say before I mute you? Okay. Muting. So, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, today is core, the focus. So, we have to do core stuff. It's going to be rough, but we got this. Okay. Do you guys have something like a block? So either a block or something of the like even if it's like a rolled up blanket or a rolled up, like a forest yoga rolled up mat, duct taped or anything like that. So get something. I just want to make sure this looks nice and sorry, I'm just adjusting. Okay, get something that you can use like a block or something that will work like it, and just set it to the side for now. Come down onto your back to begin with. And let's just start by taking a big, huge full body stretch. So arms reach long, legs reach long. Just feeling into the length of your spine, your side bodies, your arms, your legs. And then come to rest with your arms by your sides. And they can be out as wide as you want. And then bring your feet to the ground with your knees bent, feet about mat width distance apart, let your knees fall in. So if this feels good, stay here. If you want to feel, oh, there's my dog, Ruby. If you want to feel a little more grounding, then maybe bring one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. So arms out, palms up, a little more open and receptive. One hand to heart, one hand to belly, a little more grounding. And just close your eyes. Take these first few moments to arrive fully in the space you are in the moment you are in. So hear the sound of my voice, but then feel into your own space. The energy that's there, the background noises that are there. Temperature, the air on your skin. And then start to feel into your inner space, the space inside of you, your body, the energy that moves through you, your breath, the rise and fall. And next time you inhale, very intentionally, fill up as big as you can. Take a moment to pause at the top in fullness. Maybe sip in just a little bit more. Big open mouth sigh, let it go. Again, like that, inhale, fill up. Hold at the top. And open mouth sigh when you're ready. Let it go. Sigh it out. Last time. Biggest inhale of your entire day thus far. See if you can hold the breath, but relax around it. And then open mouth sigh to release and soften and relax just a bit more. Good job, friends. Seal your lips and start to drop into your Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose by way of the back of your throat. And this breath in and of itself has an element of core. So each time you exhale, you want to feel some engagement through your center. You want to feel your belly button pulling down towards the ground, pulling down towards your spine. So just by breathing really big, really deep, taking your exhales all the way to empty, we start to work our core muscles. And our core is not just what we think of as our six pack. It's that whole entire area around our center, our obliques, the sides of our abdominals, our back muscles as well. So if one area is weak, then it weakens the whole thing. So just feeling into your breath and feeling that connection to center. Keep this breath moving and flowing. And as you're ready, just draw your knees in towards your belly and start to rock it out gently from side to side. So just give your low back a nice little massage. You can hold your knees if you want to. You can hold your shins or the backs of your thighs. You can do whatever feels right with your arms. This doesn't have to be anything forceful, just nice and easy. Maybe feeling around into little pressure points in your low back or sore muscles, tender areas. Eventually, set your feet back on the ground with your knees bent. This is where I want you to grab hold of your block or whatever you've chosen to use. If you're like, I really don't have anything I can use, no big deal. You're just going to squeeze your inner thighs together and that will do just fine. Ideally, something in between your inner thighs if you're using a block, just the smallest setting. And it doesn't have to be right up next to your pelvis. It can be anywhere in between your knees and your pelvis. So bring it wherever works best so that your knees are about hips width distance apart if possible. You're hugging your prop. Your knees line up right over your hips. So not closer to your belly, but right above your hips. And then your shins parallel to the ground, flex your toes. Tee out your arms, palms face up. Feel into a neutral spine as you squeeze your block or your prop. Take an inhale here, neutral spine. And as you exhale, move your knees slowly to your right, like you're going into a twist, but then hover your legs just above the ground. Squeeze your block, stay here as you breathe in. Left shoulder should be rooted down. Exhale, squeeze your block and slowly bring your knees back to center. Inhale, center, feel into your neutral spine. Backs of your shoulders are rooted. Shins parallel to the earth. Exhale, knees over to the left. Take them over just as far as you can without letting your right shoulder lift up. Stay here as you breathe in and squeeze your block. Activate your feet. Flex your toes. Exhale slowly back to center. Inhale, feel your neutral spine. Option to extend your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, slowly take your legs to the right. Squeeze your block. Move slowly. Don't let your left shoulder lift. Stay here. Hover. Breathe in. Exhale, use your core strength. Slowly bring your legs back to center. Squeeze your block. Neutral spine. Inhale. Switch out your legs. Right leg extends. If it pulls on your low back, don't extend too much. Exhale, legs go left. Hover above the ground. Don't let your right shoulder lift. Keep the back of your right shoulder rooted. Breathe in. Squeeze your prop. Woo! Exhale, back to center. Option to extend both legs up. Only extend as much as you can. Don't pull on your low back. Don't lose your neutral spine. Exhale, legs go right. Hover above the ground. Squeeze your prop. Don't let your left shoulder lift. Inhale, squeeze, and with your exhale, slowly, controlled movement, come back to center. Inhale, neutral spine, both legs stay extended or your variation. Exhale to the left. Your last one, let your legs hover, squeeze. Inhale, hold, right shoulder stays rooted and come back up slowly. Woo, bend your knees. Set your block to the side for a moment. Let your feet come together and let your knees fall open. If this bothers your low back, scoot your feet a little further away from your upper body. So just rest here and breathe down into your low belly. As much as you're able to, let your legs relax. So try not to hold them up, but just let gravity take hold. Press your heels especially. If you want to, you can kind of flutter your knees up and down. Slow, deep breaths. If a couple open mouth sighs would feel nice, go for it. Taking your arms overhead and stretching would feel nice, go for it. All right, friends, let's come back to feet on the ground with knees bent. This time, we're setting up for a bridge pose. So option to use your block or your prop, or did mine go in between your inner thighs once again. If you don't want to, you don't have to. This time, get it as close to your pelvis. Well, I guess I should say, you do still want your knees hips width distance. So put your prop wherever it works best so that your knees are hips width distance apart, whatever setting works best. Feet are parallel, all of your toes face forward and your heels are pretty much straight down from your knees. Exhale, pull your belly button down and scoop your tailbone up. Squeeze your prop if you're using one. As you inhale, peel your spine slowly, one vertebra at a time off your mat. When you get to the top of your bridge, take it into whatever variation you desire. So maybe you feel great where you're at. Maybe you're like, I would love to use my block as a support. You want to bring your block under your sacrum, make this more restorative, feel free. Perhaps you want to interlace your fingers underneath you or robot arms. If you are into full wheel upward facing bow and you feel ready for it, you're welcome to go there. So your variation of bridge pose, take about 3 to 5 more breaths. If you've got a prop in between your inner thighs, squeeze. Stay rooted through your heels and the inner edges of your feet. See if you can pick up your toes and spread them. Try to reach your knees and your shins forward, so lengthen through the tops of your thighs in front of your hips. Press down into the back of your head, soften your face. Take one more full round of breath. Now listen, if you're in bridge pose, stay there. Get to a place, so work your shoulders out from under you if they're there. Get to a place where you can extend your arms straight up towards the sky, straight up. Take one more inhale, squeeze your prop, lift your hips, keep your arms reaching straight up. Slow, 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 roll your spine down. Ooh-wee. Slow, slow, slow. Once you get back down to neutral, remove your prop, set it to the side. Windshield wiper, bring your feet out to the width of your mat. Tee out your arms or cactus your arms against the ground and then just side to side, back and forth with your knees. Make sure your feet are wider than your hips. So feet wider than hips create space in your low back. You can go as slow as you want to. I think it feels so good to go really, really slow. And return to your Ujjayi. So especially when I'm working hard, I find that my breath speeds up, my heart rate speeds up. That happens to you. Now's your time to slow it down. Okay, let's come back to center. And then draw your knees in. Take a little rock from side to side. So modification, you can just roll over to fetal position and help yourself up with your arms to your hands and your knees. Otherwise, we're gonna take some rocks, rock and rolls along our spine. So I like to grab the backs of my thighs. Usually, you can also grab fronts of your shins where you can reach your arms straight up towards the sky. Start to rock and roll. Take a few rocks forward and back, making them as smooth as possible. Staying in control. So at any time, you feel like you could stop if you wanted to. After a few rounds of rocking and rolling, rock up, cross your ankles. Bring your hands to the ground in front of you and find yourself on your hands and your knees and crawling back. So you may need to crawl back to get centered again on your mat. Once you're on hands and knees, my favorite thing is just intuitive movement. So this is all you, whatever feels good. Maybe cat-cow. Maybe hip circles. Maybe you want to sit back into a child's pose and just find a sense of grounding, find your breath. So wherever you want to go, whatever your body is calling for, take about 2 or 3 more rounds. And then eventually let's meet in downward facing dog. Once you're back in down dog, keep that exploration going. So keep feeling around, keep moving around, maybe pedaling out your heels. You're shifting your weight from side to side. Maybe it feels really good to just bend your knees and lift your hips high. Soft face, soft jaw. Big deep breath. Take one more huge round of breath into your down dog. And then as you exhale, or end of your exhale, start to crawl your hands to the back of your mat into a forward fold position. So eventually all the weight comes into your feet. Little or big bend in your knees. Bringing your feet at least hips width distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. All 10 toes face forward, halfway lift, breathe in. Pause here, bend your left knee a lot, left fingertips to the ground, or maybe your left hand comes to a block, right arm to the sky. So reach up through your right fingertips and open through the right side of your heart. If you want to, you can bring your right arm behind your back. Try to create space between your right ear and your right shoulder. Stay rooted through the inner edge of your right foot and work your right hip back as you straighten your right leg as much as you are able to. So just find your own edge and then breathe into it. Soften with your exhales. Take one last big breath. And end of your exhale, unwind, switch sides. Right hand to the ground or a block, right knee bends, left arm reaches up. Rooting through the inner edge of your left foot, pull your left hip back, crown of your head reaches forward. Or if it feels good, left arm behind you, you can kind of let your head be heavy. So this would be like a forest yoga variation, relaxing your neck, feeling into that space in between your left ear and left shoulder. Big spacious breaths down into your belly. Take one more round. End of your exhale, unwind back to a forward fold. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, walk your hands to the top of your mat, plank position. Feet mat width distance apart. So shoulders over wrists, hips level with shoulders, and then feet mat width distance apart, so wider than usual. If you want to modify, come down to hands and knees instead. All right, friends, push the ground away with your fingertips. See if you can hover your right foot above the ground. Stay here, or see if you can lift your left hand. Maybe reach your left arm forward, teeter-totter. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, sit everything down back to your plank position. All right, other side, hover your left foot. Push the ground away, navel to spine. Back of your neck is long, soften your face. Maybe float your right hand, reach it forward. One more breath. Woo, and back to plank. Inhale here. You can adjust your feet if you want. Exhale, chaturanga. Spider-Man cobra. Hands come out wide, so off of your mat, fingertips on the ground, elbows face the sky. Inhale, lift your hearts. Exhale, twist to your right side and let your left shoulder kind of dip down. Inhale back through center, heart lifts. Tone your low belly, press through your pelvis. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale back to center. Go one more time each way, feeling into your own body. So you don't have to make this more than you want to make it. Don't force anything, just soften into it. Breathe into it. And eventually, let's just meet in a child's pose for a moment. So no rush, but eventually you'll find your way back, hips to your heels and forehead to your mat. Embryo pose is also welcome. So if you want to reach your arms back, grab hold of your heels or let your palms just face the sky. Perfect. Breathe deeply. All right, friends, rise up to your hands and your knees. And then from hands and knees, curl your toes under. Knees, hips width distance apart, sit back onto your heels. This is screaming toe pose. So if you're like, ow, this hurts my toes, yeah, that's what it's intended for. It's stretching the plantar fascia. If you never do that in the beginning, it hurts a lot. So if it's too much, bring your block out in front of you and put your hands on your block. Put some of your weight on your hands. If you are able to, hug in with your inner heels. So you're not squeezing your inner heels, they're not touching, but you're hugging in. Like there's a little baby block in between them that you're squeezing. And then just sit back. Seated meditation in screaming toe pose. So let that sensation come and just be with it. Breathe into it, soften around it. In my mouth. If it's too much at any point, hands to your block, take some weight off, come back when you're ready. We'll be here for about 3 to 5 more breaths. Soften your face. Open mouth size anytime. So let that heat build. Breathe into it. Rather than resisting it, just let it be what it is. One last breath. End of your exhale, come forward to hands and knees, untuck your toes, and gently just pitter-patter tap your feet against the ground. Maybe kind of shimmy with your heels side to side, shake it out. Maybe you lift your feet and roll out your ankles, point and flex. Eventually, downward facing dog. And as you move into your down dog, feel into all that new awareness in your feet and your toes. Take a great big inhale into your down dog. Lift your hips super, super high. Exhale this time, look forward, step, tiptoe, or hop to the top of your mat, forward fold. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale, bow, let it go. Root through your feet and take it all the way to a stand, arms reach. And so heart center with your exhale. Okie doke. Grab your block again or your prop, whatever you're using. If you don't have one, you'll be okay. Take it, same placement in between your inner thighs. Feet about hips width distance apart. Squeeze your block so that your pelvis is neutral and you feel this little engagement, the support around your center. So it's different than just being kind of lazy. If you don't have a block, just hug in, squeeze an invisible block with your inner thighs. You can create the same sensation and create the same muscle engagement. Ideally, you want to be able to do it without a block anyways, but the block helps us. It makes us almost have to do it. So if you're squeezing in, you automatically get that little tone of your belly. That connection to your center. Let your arms just fall down by your sides, palms open, or hands can come to your heart, or one hand to your heart space, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes and feel from the inside this connection to your center, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Hugging in with your inner thighs, staying rooted and grounded through the inner and outer edges of your feet, through the inner and outer edges of your heels, through the pads of your toes. Draw up through the crown of your head. So just feel into your body from the inside, not needing to see yourself, but feeling. Breathing into all the spaces. Take one more inhale where you're at, squeezing your block, fill up with breath. Big sigh out your mouth. Ujjayi breath, fire it up. Inhale, reach up. Pause here, interlace your fingers, steeple your index fingers. Make your arms as long, strong, and powerful as you can. Take one more big inhale, grow super tall. As you exhale, reach to your right with your arms. Maybe move your hips to the left a little bit. So think of a crescent moon shape and try to create that with your body. Keep your left shoulder back and down. Stay rooted through the inner edge of your left foot. One more round. Inhale back to center. Other side as you exhale. More weight in your right foot. Hips to the right. Reach to the left. I know it's tempting to bend your elbows like this and get lazy. Try to make your arms strong and powerful. Squeeze your block. Make that crescent moon shape one more round. Back to center, inhale. As you exhale, cactus your arms, baby back bend, squeeze your block, press your hips gently forward. Inhale, re-extend, neutral pelvis, neutral spine, reach up. And swan dive down with your exhale. Remove your block from your inner thighs. Set it to the side. Nice, easy ragdoll pose. Grab opposite elbows and just bounce or sway or bob. Feet, hips width distance or even wider. Let your neck relax, let your head be heavy. Bend your knees a little or a lot. Bring your weight forward, so not rocking back into your heels, but rocking slightly forward, and then see if you can lift your butt higher. One last breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Realign. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. Pause in your plank pose. All right, side plank, right hand is your base. So either roll into the baby toe edge of your right foot, or if you're feeling modified side plank instead, totally fine with me. Maybe you even want to modify by coming down to your right forearm. You're just taking care of your wrist. Lift your hips super high. So crescent moon shape is what we're going for. Maybe reach your left arm forward, bicep next to your ear. Maybe float your left leg up. Woo! Soften your face. One more round. Slowly, intentionally switch sides. Come through plank or modified plank. And left hand is your foundation. Hold to the baby toe edge of left foot. Right arm up. Maybe right arm next to your right ear. Maybe right leg floats. Woo! Play around. So not taking yourself too seriously. That's what work is for, not what yoga is for. Take one last big breath. And then plank or modified plank. Inhale at the top, spread your fingers, push the ground away. Exhale, slowly lower. All right, let's take shoulder pigeon. So right arm reaches out to the right, palm face down. Turn your head to the left, roll up onto your right side. Left foot can come down behind you like so, or left foot might come out in front of you. Sometimes that feels better on my low back. So whatever works for you. And then if there's another variation you like, go for it. Left arm is up to you as well. Make sure you can relax your head down on the ground. And if you can't, use something under your head, like a blanket or a pillow. Relax and soften through your face. Unclench your jaw. Take the biggest breaths you possibly can. Not forcing anything, not straining, not losing our breath. Just slowly relaxing into it, softening around our edges, letting ourselves feel sensation, even if it's uncomfortable. Breathing into it. Take about 3 to 5 more. And let's say in your next couple rounds, just come back to your belly. And we will go to the other side, but take a moment. So before switching to the other side, just rest on your belly, turn your head the opposite direction. Arms down by your sides, palms face up, and either shake your hips a little bit from side to side, rock them back and forth, or knees wider than your hips, bend your knees, and windshield wiper your shins side to side. You can also bring your arms to goalposts against the ground, just resting. Breathe into your low back. Breathe so big that you feel your belly just push the ground away. Come back to center and relax your legs down, readjust your legs however you need to. Coming back to neutral. Your head is already turned to the right. Extend your left arm straight out to the left, straight out from your left shoulder. Palm face down, and then roll up onto your left side. Same thing, you can choose where you want to go with your right leg and your right arm. So most likely you do what you did on the other side, but if this side feels different, do honor that. Do be aware of that. Pay attention. Make sure you can breathe, big, deep breaths. Soften your face, unclench your jaw. Loosen up through your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyelids. Take about 3 or 4 more. And when you feel pretty much even on both sides, just come back to your belly again. Turn your head the opposite direction, so to the left. Rest for a moment here. Arms can come down by your sides with your palms facing the sky, or you can bring your arms to a kind of a goalpost position. Or if you want to bring your hands underneath your head like a little pillow, feel free. And then little wiggle of your hips side to side, or option to windshield wiper your shins. Make sure your knees are at least hips width distance apart as you take your shins from side to side. And if you want to, you can play with egg beater, like you're throwing your feet into a little mixing bowl. So they circle in opposite directions at opposite times. Breathe out into your low back. Couple more deep breaths. All right. Let your legs go. So set them back down. Turn your forehead to face the ground and adjust your legs however you need to so that everything feels like it's in alignment. So try to get your inner thighs together, or as if you're holding an invisible block. So arms, or let's say hands to your low back, interlace your fingers. Exhale in your breath. And as you inhale, lift everything up that you possibly can. So lift your head, lift your chest, lift your legs. See if you can lift your arms up and reach your knuckles back. Hug in with your inner thighs. Spread your toes. Imagine you want to rotate your inner thighs up towards the sky. Breathe all the way down into your belly. One last big inhale, back of your neck long, gaze down. Exhale, release. Take it up to tabletop, back to your version of child's pose. So just rest in child or embryo. Breathe into your low back. Open mouth exhales at any time. Good job, friends. Downward facing dog. All right, great big inhale, down dog. Push the ground away, lift your hips super high. Exhale, look to the top of your mat, step, tiptoe, or hop, forward fold. Once you've arrived, find your spinal extension, inhale. Exhale, bow and fold. Root through your feet, slowly rise, all the way up, big stretch at the top. Hands to your heart, exhale. We're gonna play with balance. Yoo-hoo! Okay, so if you want to, you're welcome to move to a wall or whatever you want to do at your house. We'll root down into our right foot and float our left knee up. Standing step. Hands can stay at your heart, hands can come to your hips, or you can reach your arms to the sky. So find balance on your right foot, hug in with your inner thighs. Make your left foot, the one that's floating, make it active. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, slowly move into your warrior three. So maybe your warrior three is with your hands on a block. Maybe your warrior three is with one hand on a wall. Maybe it's with your hands at your heart or your hands on the ground. Maybe your arms are reaching forward. So your warrior three, take one more big, huge breath, your fullest expression. And then land in a low lunge. Step your left toes to the back of your mat. Bring your hands to the ground. From your low lunge, so take a moment, and if you need to adjust your legs, so finding your strong lunge position, do so, take a moment to adjust. Left hand stays down. It can be on a block if you want to use one. And then right arm to the sky, revolve lunge. So legs are strong and powerful. Imagine you're trying to pull your right hip back, but at the same time, your right knee is hugging towards your left armpit. Breathe down into your belly. Go all the way down. Good, beautiful. Take one last round. Nice, Wendy. End of your exhale, let it go. Walk your hands over to the left long edge of your mat. So parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. And if you want an extra challenge, see if you can reach your arms out to both sides like you have great big wings. Palms face down. Press your arms up, and at the same time, imagine you're trying to press your chest down. Reach your butt back and the top of your head forward, root through your feet. Take one more big inhale here. Exhale, release. Wide-legged forward fold, or wherever you want to go. So feel free to explore it in your own way. And in these moments where you have a few rounds, just to feel, rather than tuning out, tune in. Take a couple more breaths. Nice job. All right, come back to a halfway lift position, this time with your fingertips on the ground, or you can use a block under your hands. So bend your knees if needed. Start to walk your hands to the front of your mat. Rotate your toes forward, so you're in a low lunge again. Guess where we're gonna go from here? We're gonna go all the way back up to our standing stack. So rooting into your right foot, rise all the way up, standing stack. If you need to, you can use your left toes to help you up. So reach your arms up or hands to heart, left knee lifts, or extend your left leg forward. Try not to lean back. Take one more big, huge breath. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Oh, let it go. Let your arms come down. And just kind of shake it up. Now, vigorously shake, shake. Vigorously shake, 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 shake for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Be still. Arms down by your sides or hands at your heart. Just feel the energy inside of you. Slow down your breath. Okay, root into your left foot. Right knee floats up, standing staff. Choose your arm position. Hug in with your inner thighs. Activate your right toes. Okay, so once you found your balance in standing staff, slowly warrior 3 your own variation. So hands can come to a block, hands can come to your left thigh, hands can come to your heart, arms can reach forward. Right leg reaches back and make it really strong and powerful. Spine long, tone through your low, deep abdominals. Hug an invisible block with your inner thighs. Last breath. Low lunge position. Step your right toes back softly. Hands frame your front foot. Take a moment to adjust your legs if needed. So strong lunge position. Right hand on the ground or right hand on a block. Left arm up. Twist. Revolve lunge. Breathe all the way down into your belly. Squeeze your inner thighs. Use your exhale to twist to wring out. Soften your face. Unclench your jaw. One last big breath. End of your exhale, let it go, unwind, hands over to the right long edge of your mat. Parallel your feet, straighten your legs out, halfway lift position. Option to add some arms. Just feel into the length from the top of your head back to your sit bones. Lengthen the backs of your legs. You're reaching your arms out, big, huge wingspan. One more inhale. And then wherever you want to go, fold in or explore. Big deep breaths, reconnect to your breath. Good job, you guys. Couple more. Inhale, come to a halfway lift, fingertips on the ground or maybe hands on your block. Walk your hands forward, rotate your toes forward so you're coming back to your low lunge. From your low lunge, we're going all the way up, big movement, standing stance, right knee lifts, arms reach or maybe hands to heart. Maybe right leg extends, try not to lean back. Use those low, deep abdominals. Take one more round. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Let it go, shake it out. After a few shakes, see if you can keep your hips square. So I don't want your hips so much to move. Hips square so you're bracing through your core. And just let your arms gently swing from side to side. Root through your feet. All 10 toes face forward. So feel that brace at your center, not letting your hips move. Feel your connection, navel to spine. The stronger your core gets, the more momentum you can put in your upper body and still keep your hips square. Couple more times, make sure you're still breathing. And then stillness, arms by your sides or hands at your heart. Close your eyes. Feel from the inside, neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Hug an invisible block with your inner thighs. Root through your feet, draw up through the crown of your head, broaden through your shoulders. Stand with so much intention and attention. Take a huge inhale. Hold, take up more space energetically. Big sigh out your mouth. Ujjayi breath, reach up, inhale. Swan dive down, traction out your spine. Halfway lift, breathe in, lengthen. Now listen, you guys, this is the most fun part. Exhale, fold. Okay, from here, you do not have to do this, but I'm gonna give you an option. So if you want to, you can look at me. From your forward fold, you're gonna use your flexibility in your ankles and your hips to get as low as you can. And then from here, you're just gonna rock right back on to your spine. So maybe take a few rocks, a few rolls. If you're like, hell no, I ain't doing that, then just come down to your back however you want. Take a few rocks forward and back, and then eventually you can just let those rocks go and rock gently side to side. Good work, friends. Set your feet on the ground with your knees bent. Supine pigeon, right ankle to your left thigh, figure 4. Left foot can stay on the ground or left foot can lift, grab hold behind your left thigh. Take a few deep breaths into your hips. As you pull in with your arms, resist with your legs. So rather than rounding your spine, your intention is to keep a neutral spine. Flex your right toes. Breathe. If you are holding on to your left leg, set your left foot back down. Cross your right knee on top of your left knee, like somebody would sit in a chair wearing a really short skirt. And then right arm out to the right. Scoot your hips over to the right a little bit, and then roll onto your left side. If you get here and you're like, I hate having my legs crossed like this, I feel like it hurts my low back and I can't breathe, then uncross your legs, no big deal. Some people like it, some people don't. Make sure you can breathe all the way down to your belly, gaze up or over your right shoulder. Intention is to root through the back of your right shoulder. If it lifts a little bit, that's okay. Try not to let your right shoulder lift up towards your right ear. Soft through your face. Take one more big, deep Buddha belly breath. And then lift your legs back up, uncross them. It might feel nice to extend your right leg up for a moment, roll out your ankle. As you're ready, right foot on the ground with your knee bent and outer left ankle, top of your right thigh, figure 4. Flex your left toes. Lift your right foot if you want to. Rock it out if you want to. Side to side, gently. Big breaths down into your hips. And I'm just saying your next 2 or 3 breaths, start your transition into your twist. So your left knee on top of your right knee, scoot your hips to the left side of your mat just a bit, left arm out, roll onto your right side. No hurry. Once you're in your twist, send your breath really intentionally down to your low belly, low back. If you don't like having your knees crossed, do not cross them, no biggie. And then take your time, but when you feel pretty even in your twist, back to center, happy baby, to finish off your practice. If there's any other movement stretches, final poses you want to take, go for it, especially since you're at your own home. And if you want to take your Shavasana in any special way, go for it. If you want to take it with your legs up the wall, with a bolster under your knees or anything like that, please feel free. My thought for you as you move into your Shavasana, it's by one of my most favorite meditation teachers, Corey Muscara. And he says, trying to fix your tension is just another form of tension, an aggression against the part of you that lives in defense. Meet it with an open hand, not a fist. Trying to fix your tension is just another form of tension, An aggression against the part of you that lives in defense. Meet it with an open hand, not a fist. So I think one of the hugest realizations for me in my own personal kind of mindfulness, awareness, yoga journey has been that you cannot force anything. And anytime we are trying to fix ourselves because there's a part of us that we hate, it doesn't work. It's just another form of aggression. So the trick is, and the hardest part is loving and accepting and embracing the part of ourselves that we hate the most. So not trying to push it away or force it out, not trying to hide it or run from it, but actually holding it with our loving awareness, feeling it, letting it have space within us. And the most ironic thing that happens is once it gets to be felt and held and seen and embraced and loved, usually it just kind of slowly makes its way out. The tension slowly melts away without us even trying. So pain, just like love, is something that we relax into. So whatever's present for you, whatever you feel, just let it have space. Feel it. Not avoiding, not hiding, not pretending like everything's perfect. Because it's not. We're human. We live in a human world. Let yourself feel it all. I'll bring you out of your Shavasana in just a couple moments. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. Slowly wiggle through your fingers, toes. Maybe a full body stretch, maybe a little temple massage. As you're ready, roll to one side, fetal position. And use your arms to slowly guide yourself up into seated meditation. So just closing our practice with our eyes closed and our hands at our heart. bow your head to your own heart and acknowledge yourself for taking this time out of your day to be intentional, to be present, to be with your body, to listen to your breath. Thank you for letting me guide you. Namaste. All right, my friends. So I will start a playlist. So it will be just a tiny bit different than it was with Scott. So rather than a Dropbox thingamajig, it will just be a playlist on YouTube. So you'll just have the play. It's private, so only you guys who have the like link will be able to see them. So you'll go to that playlist and you'll see all the videos.
That's
and
awesome.
I'll just make sure Kim sends that out because she has all your emails. So any questions? I know I didn't end right on time, so I'll get better at that because I know sometimes lunch hour it's like you gotta be back. So but you can always sneak off if you need to.
Great.
All right,
Thanks,
friends.
Katie.
That was so
Good to
great.
see
Thank you. So
you.
glad you're here.
I'm so glad to be
Thank
here.
you.
Thanks, guys. Have a
Bye.
good day.